All right, June 26th, shoulder day. I wanted to, obviously it's unilateral month still. Unilateral month, honestly not that hard to program into our workouts. So that's kind of made it a little bit easier. But I also wanted to find a way to do the unilateral stuff, still get you guys the appropriate amount of lifting you needed to do. I really wanted to hammer the trunk work this workout. That was an emphasis of mine. And I still wanted to get the jump roping and the biking in. So when you put all that together, it makes it fairly interesting, and there's plenty of things to talk about. So unilateral is great for shoulder day because, single arm push press right out of the gate, you are fresh. Excellent opportunity to work on getting up and overhead, working on your mobility, getting a better understanding of maybe which side of your body has an imbalance relative to the other, maybe more unstable or weaker than the other side. A lot of bonuses to doing single arm push press, learning how to stabilize up and over your head, maybe with one dumbbell, so significantly easier, and the appropriate step forward to doing two dumbbells eventually up and overhead. So I really love single arm dumbbell push press, and I love the opportunity of being able to start with it, which I think is a benefit of doing unilateral month because it kind of promotes me to do so. Again, pretty straightforward right there. The core chunk right in the middle. So once you finish single arm push press, I really wanted people to actually do a bar skill. So I wanted people to work on either toes to bar, knees to bows, or knee tucks. Obviously, not everybody has the ability to hold onto the bar long enough to do sets or chunks or reps of that. So the V-ups and the tuck-ups are there as a regression to those. But I really want people to push to do something on the bar for this particular part of the workout. So that will be promoted in class if you're somebody that does not watch the workouts. Following that, again, back to the unilateral stuff, something we do all the time. Everybody should be very familiar with this. Everybody should have this written down and tracked. Single arm dumbbell high row, whether you're kneeling on a bench, whether you have a hand on a bench, either way, you're trying to move as much load as physically possible here, albeit with good form, of course. But again, a movement that everybody should be very familiar with. Going to the second block, again, another opportunity, kind of fits perfectly here. You got 9 minutes to do your seated Arnold press, not alternating, almost said that. Just because of unilateral month. This has nothing to do with unilateral month, but it gives you a strict, stationary, seated lift to just move weight in one line of motion without worrying about the volatility of kind of being in that athletic position, which is where your both feet are on the ground. And this does have the benefits. Again, we can isolate a little bit more, we can move more weight, and we can really focus on any type of deficit we may have regarding added load or external load, without having to worry about the kinetic chain and, again, like I said, the athletic position. So taking that out of the equation, not perfect because it's the second block. You've already done two pretty heavy movements, so you're going to be pretty pre-exhausted here, which is why I put 40%. But if you're pretty conditioned in this particular modality, shoulders that is, you should be able to go up and over 40% there without much of an issue, especially if you're aiming for 8-9 reps, somewhere in that realm. And again, a favorable 90-second rest relative to what, a lot of times you guys get 1 minute rest. The last block, want to get the jump roping and biking in, so here we are. Spacing will be interesting here. Obviously, a ton of people are out of town in the summer, so hopefully it's not as crazy. But again, the class is being full. The jump roping and the core option are going to occur at the same time. So I want you guys to use the exact same core movement that you chose on block number 1 right here. So if you did knees to bows, then you're going to do knees to bows here. And we're just going to hammer it. So this was kind of the goal. I wanted you guys to get an understanding of what you could do, practice it a little bit, and get some repetition underneath your belts, get an idea kind of how you can chunk these reps away. And then when we get to the AMRAP, you kind of just get the full minute to just blast it and just see how many reps you can get through. Hopefully, your motor pattern a little bit more refined, a little bit more skilled, and you can just kind of get an idea of what you're capable of. Not really a minute because you need to give yourself time to transition, but probably 50 seconds, 45 seconds at worst. 40-second max bike, love that. Remember, that's not a sprint. Nobody's sprinting for 40 seconds, and at least not doing it and repeating it. The goal is to pick something given the circumstances, anytime you see max, and choose your output or weight, obviously output here, based on the surroundings. So you have to do this 4 times, right? So you're trying to pick what's the absolute most output I can handle, knowing I have to do this 4 times in a row. Not in a row, but 4 consecutive rounds in a row. That's how you guys are going to think. And then you're going to start piecing together this puzzle of working out of thresholds and output and what I can handle, what my conditioning allows, etc., and go from there. And then obviously the jump roping is just a good opportunity just to get some singles and double unders in because the 1 minute jump rope baseline is coming up, I believe, in the 30th. So 4 days after this, some of you guys, you might not jump rope again after you do this. So this will give you an opportunity to do that.